Oh, are we televised? Yeah, well, there we go. Okay. I'm going to call the August 30th, 2019 emergency meeting to order. I think the first order of business would just all stand and pledge your allegiance to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're ready.
All right. Good morning, Commissioners. Jake Sauer, Acting Director of Public Safety. Sherry. I first want to say a thank you to Steve Lichauer, our EM Chief, and his team that is in the audience today. They've been they've really stepped up to the plate to help us get through this and plan for it. So thank you very much to the EM team, as well as all of the directors and Sherry and the administration. We've been working really closely together to really plan this out. So my second message is not to panic. Moving forward, our message is going to be pretty clear, and that is to get your plan in place and start planning for what's looking to be a rain event, but could possibly turn into wind as well. So it's not moving.
Mouse, there you go.
There we go. Okay, so here we are today. We just got the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. It's about 855 miles out from Polk County, the center of the state. You might have to drive for me, Steve.
There you go.
Okay, so why we're here today, we're here to enact a resolution to declare a local state of emergency. Yesterday afternoon, Governor DeSantis declared all of the 67 counties of Florida under an emergency state of emergency through his executive order. As of 7 a.m., the National Weather Service, like I said, located about 855 miles southeast of Lakeland, 260 miles east of the Bahamas, long-lasting event after entering Florida due to slow movement as it tries to curve north. So initially, we were planning on a Sunday event, and it's looking like this is going to be a long slug, and we're in it for the long haul with this hurricane. Impacts could begin as early as Sunday afternoon, evening, lasting through Wednesday evening for West Central and Southwest Florida. There's the latest model there. As you can see, it's taken a little turn towards the south, and what's presenting a problem for us now is once it enters landfall, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit, but it's going to go up the spine or possibly the East Coast. Obviously, the East Coast would be a little bit better for us, not good for the East Coast of Florida. It is forecast to become a major hurricane today. It's probably a Category 3 as we speak, but it will be a Category 4 storm with winds reaching 140 miles per hour in the Bahamas as it passes through the Bahamas. It is strengthening, as I said, and the winds from the center of the hurricane are actually getting larger, so that's not good for all of Florida. Models have multiple different solutions as the wind Dorian will turn to the west or north. But one of the good things about the models is they're now into an agreement as far as where it's probably going to enter into Florida, and we're looking at West Palm Beach area. However, the cone, as you'll see through the media and the updates that we give you, is still pretty large, as we're still far out as this storm continues to slow down as it's approached to Florida. So based on the current forecast track, impacts include potential for 3 to 6 feet of storm surge along the Gulf Coast, estimated 3 to 4 inches of rain, and most of the rain falls later Sunday through Wednesday. Like I said, this is going to be a long haul with this storm for us as it slowly moves through Florida, which, like I said, that's going to be an impact for Mike Gore and his team and Chad Butso and their team trying to get this rain that's already saturated in the ground out. So just a couple other things Seas 3 to 8 feet above high tide will go through Tuesday through Thursday. High tides occur at 4 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Tuesday, and 6:15 Wednesday, 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Thursday on the island. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. The impacts to Manatee County, as I said, we're still a little unknown as we're so far out. The heaviest rainfall is located east of the storm, so the northeast quadrant of the storm will be the heaviest rainfall. The left track turning northward presents the greatest storm surge threat to the Gulf Coast. If it stays going up the spine or more towards on the east coast, we have no worries about surge. However, if you see this latest model question here, it could continue going west, go right over us, and then we'll have to worry about surge in the future. This is where the two models have come together as far as when it comes into the state of Florida, makes landfall, and then the two models that we mostly rely on differ as where it's going to go. So, arrival of tropical storm force winds. We just got a latest update since this slide, and that's going to be how it goes. As soon as me and Steve are done talking to you today, that the information we give you is out of date, and we're waiting for the next one. But peak winds Tuesday at 10 a.m. through Wednesday at 12 p.m. for Manatee County, and tropical storm force winds will be ending around Wednesday in the afternoon or late evening. And now I'm going to turn it over to Steve to talk about our plan as far as emergency management in the county with preparing for the storm.
Good morning, Commissioners. Madam Administrator, I'm Steve Litch, our Chief Emergency Management. As the Director said, I'll briefly review our evacuation. Currently, we're not doing or looking at the typical level A, level B, because we're not concerned about the storm surge currently. And as he alluded, it changes by the minute and by the hour. What we are looking at, though, because we're looking at winds of either equal to or greater than what we saw in Irma, and so with those winds, we're concerned about the mobile homes, manufactured home, and RVs, because they're their construction, and then also the low-lying, prone to flooding areas with the increase of rain. As you well know, over the last month, we've been devastated by rain, the ground saturated. Already a couple weeks ago, we had trees toppling over, and so we're concerned about any more rain, and it looks like we're going to get, I don't want to say considerable amount, but a good amount of rain. We even add to that, as we said, we got then concerns of our canals and rivers, again, flooding. And originally, when the governor enacted the executive order, he only included the East Coast counties, and a lot of us, including Manatee County, Pasco, Citrus, and all those along the West Coast that have had flooding, urged to get it added to that executive order, and since the governor has added all counties to the executive order as far as the state. So we have not come up with a time yet on the evacuations. Again, it's totally changing what it was last night. It's different than what it is this morning. We hope to have a more definitive time frame this afternoon, but most likely it'll be sometime Sunday by what we're seeing right now. And our estimation on evacuating those mobile homes, manufactured homes, is 6 to 12 hours, because less than 47,000 households versus level A is about 120-some thousand. Now, whether the people will leave or not, we'll see it. But we are going to open 4 general shelters, 3 of which are pet-friendly, and then the special needs shelter, which is also pet-friendly. But as our message has been for a long time, we encourage people to go to friends, families, hotels out of the area. Better to evacuate, if they have to evacuate, with someone they know rather than a shelter. A shelter is safe. It's a safe roof over their head and food, but they're better off to stay with someone else. We're also evaluating, and will most likely put into effect, the homeless transportation plan, whereas we work with Turning Point, Salvation Army, and the list. I believe there's 5 pickup points for the homeless. They'll be picked up and taken to, if they so want to ride, be taken to one of the open shelters. The timeline, what we're looking at right now is, obviously, we're here this morning for the declaration. We have a media briefing at 1 p.m. today. Sandbags operation is open 8 to 8, and our Citizen Information Center is open 8 to 5, and they will begin what we call the call down of the special needs folks, giving them advance notice that we're going to evacuate or they need to evacuate, and also find out which one of those need help with evacuating or will evacuate. We'll go to level 2, and what that just means is more than just the EM staff in the building working. It's not a full activation. Obviously, it'll be fire department, Department of Health, and some of the key aspects. So we'll be just on an elevated level of activation today. Likewise, tomorrow is the same thing. CIC is the same hours, and also sandbag operations the same hours. We begin to put in place the special needs generator and hooking that up and delivering the supplies to the special needs shelter, so get all that in place. Because with the special needs generator and shelter, at the moment the first client walks in, that generator stops. That way, we hope we don't lose power, but if we did lose power, there's no disruption of power. We don't want to hinder anybody that are on any kind of device on electricity. Sunday, and we have not determined the hours, but tentatively, we're looking at Sunday. That could change again by the hour of start transporting the special needs folks and opening up the 4 general shelters and special needs. It will be evaluated today and tomorrow if we need to do further sandbags. I talked to a few people this morning. The thing with sandbags is we're cautioned. Have the people have a plan what they're going to use them for, not just picking them up because they're free. If their lots never flooded and they're near water, no need to leave them there for the people that need them and somehow use them rather than just picking them up. But we'll make that determination. And going to a level 1 activation just means we're calling in more of the emergency support functions. Doesn't generally mean we're going to a 24-hour, everybody's in the EOC, maybe extended hours, and everybody be contactable. But we won't go to the 24-hour shifts. If we do, it'll be closer to impact where people can't come and go, and we've got things going on through the night. So I open it up for questions or discussions from any of y'all.
Thank you very much, Steve. Commissioner Trace.
Want people to know we have best staff ever, and y'all handle this very well. Y'all have a great plan, and I want to thank you so much. I'd like to make a motion that we approve Resolution R-19-123, state of emergency.
Second.
Okay.
Steve,
Oh.
are
Commissioner
we
Whitmer.
pushing our button? Is it working now?
I guess so.
Oh, it wasn't working the other day. I have a question because I have a nurse where I work that's elderly, but she didn't know where to go. She has a CPAP and a nebulizer. Does she really need to go to a special needs? Because the CPAP's just to help you breathe at night, or a nebulizer for asthma. but
For the
I'm-
asthma, definitely not.
What about the
If
CPAP?
if it's life safety, if she cannot do without, I hate to see,
She has to go into special needs then?
then if she needs electric to live,
Okay.
Doesn't sound like for CPAP.
yeah.
Oh.
She can breathe on her own.
She
without
can
a
breathe on her own, but she needs the, at night, and then she's a nebulizer. She
Yeah, that
still
would
takes
not-
care
no.
of patients. She's ambulatory. That's what she didn't know what to do.
But under that, no.
She could go to a regular one, because she lives in a mobile home.
Does she
Okay.
have does she have an oxygen tank at home?
No, she doesn't need oxygen. I asked that.
Well, for the nebulizer.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not a question or comment. I think the word for this situation is focus. Need to make sure that we pay close attention to our news outlets and the information that's given as we prepare and stay with with a mindset of caution out in front because we just don't know what's next, but we do need to be focused.
And I just have one more thing. People are going nuts, trying to buy all the water on the shelves and stuff. Don't forget you have pots and pans at home. I've been through this many, many times, and we just fill up pots and pans at home with water and tubs that you can use to flush toilets and stuff like that, and do your laundry before the storm comes to decrease the stress on our wastewater system. I'm sure our utilities would appreciate that.
Do we want to acknowledge the mayor from Braden?
You have a question?
No, I said,
Hey, Mayor.
Okay,
acknowledge
seeing nobody else, we'll open this up for public comment. If there's anybody from the public that would like to come down and add anything to the discussion. Seeing nobody, we'll close public comment. We have a motion by Commissioner Trace, seconded by Commissioner Bellamy. All those in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, adoption is passed 4-0. Good luck, God bless, and let's keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming.